All right, so apologies for being a bit late on my own Zoom. I was running from my staff room. All right, so this week is hopefully our last week of online learning, which is fantastic. Then obviously we get to be in front of each other. But I guess what we're going to look at this week is we're going to continuing on our concept of re-aim that we started last week, and then we're going to start to write some of our assessment. So lesson 2 and 3, you're going to attempt to write your introduction and your discussion. Same as last term, you're really making sure that you're utilising the scaffold. Make sure you're hitting the dot points. Everything that the dot point says, you need to make sure you're covering. And then you're also going to be required to do some peer feedback as well, whilst obviously, you know, being at home. So lesson 2 and 3, you're doing your introduction and your discussion, and you're still trying to get some peer feedback as well. Like usual, peer feedback needs to be done before I will look at your drafts. So same thing, same concept as last time, just use your OneNote. You'll be able to open and close each other's from there. It's really easy. Do that. On the eLearn, I've put up a peer feedback form as well. So that's already accessible to you guys as well. All right, then with lesson 1, which is today's lesson, it's around the re-aim. I'm just quickly getting up the stuff that I need to show you for today. So what you're doing is you will be looking at a video that Miss Borgatti has created for you on the eLearn website. So I'll quickly show you so you know what it looks like. But Miss Borgatti's Year 11 class is doing the exact same thing that we are. So they're learning re-aim as well at the moment. So we're taking something that she's put together, which is a really good resource, and we're going to use it to start with. So this video here where it says using re-aim, Miss Borgatti demo video, that is a non-negotiable that you have to watch first before you even attempt to start any of the work. The reason for that being is the fact that she goes through re-aim and how we are going to use it for our assessment. So we can potentially use it for 2 different ways. We can use it to plan, or we can use it to evaluate. The difference being is that evaluation is what we're doing for this assessment, and planning would be that we're planning to create an action plan. We've already created our action plans. We did that last week, so we're not using re-aim to create it because it's already happened. We are using re-aim to evaluate our action plan. But for today's lesson, what you are doing is you are getting some more information and utilising and using re-aim through other examples that are not our assignment. So please don't use re-aim yet on your assessment. You're only following what she says in the video. So in the video, she speaks about stuff that she's talking about for 11, just ignore that, obviously. And then she also speaks about the fact that you can obviously use it to plan or evaluate. Like I just said, we're evaluating, so listen to that part as well. And then she also states before you do the work, you need to watch a YouTube video. You guys would have watched that last week, so it's not required for you to watch it again. It's just you guys did it on Friday, and then I'm just getting you to do the second half of their one lesson today. Now, what you'll need for that is you'll need to make sure that you can split screen your computer and have these 3 documents up. So you'll need to have this document up so that you can write your examples in there. She'll go through how to use all of these documents, but at least show you which ones they are. You'll need this one up because they're the examples you're going to work through. She'll go through the first work example with you. So make sure you're listening and paying attention to that. And then the last one you'll need is these re-aim planning and evaluation questions. A lot of my last class looked at this 7-page worksheet and went, wow, that's a lot of questions. They're not for you to answer. What they are is just a tool for you guys to go, okay, has this program that I'm looking at connected to these questions? So it's really a way for you guys to make sure that you are evaluating each section of re-aim effectively, not for you to answer each section. There may be some of these questions that you can't answer in the example, and Miss Bulgari will go through that in the video really nicely as well. So just make sure that you listen to that first. But yeah, don't think you have to answer all of these questions. This is as it says there, a planning tool. It's not a tool for you to have to constantly do the whole time. So it's literally just utilized for planning. So don't freak out, planning only. All right, the only other thing that I need to go through was your action plans last week that I saw were really good. Everyone seemed to get the gist of those really well. The only thing that we'll look at when we come back is we'll take a better look at our determinants of health and figuring out which determinant of health is actually the one that's going on. So a lot of you guys at the moment are saying like education is a big barrier for you guys at the moment because you're having to work from home. So you're feeling stressed, but that's not really like the underlying problem. So the underlying problem potentially could be, all right, you've got a lot of work to do, which is therefore giving you stress, but what's causing that stress? Is it the fact that you guys have pressure from your parents to perform? Or is it the fact that you personally are putting pressure on yourself? Or is it the fact that friends are constantly texting you saying, oh my God, have you seen all this work that we've got to do for this class and this class and this class? Or is it the fact that like you don't have enough time management skills to effectively plan your week? Or so at the moment, a lot of you guys are just saying education's your barrier, which there's probably a little bit more underneath it that we need to sift through and figure out, which would make everybody's a little bit different, but we'll do that when we come back to school. But other than that, your action plans were really, really good. And yeah, I was just extremely impressed with your data collection and your explanation of how your resources were going to hopefully help you, which is great. So please make sure now that you guys are actually taking some data and utilizing those resources on yourself. So you've got to do that for a week to capture some data to see whether it works or it doesn't work. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't work. It's more just the fact that you need data to be able to talk to it when you write your assessment. So lesson 1 today, you're going over re-aim. The examples, don't stress out. It looks like a lot of work, but it isn't, I promise. And then for lesson 2 and 3, you're going to attempt to write your introduction and your discussion. Follow the scaffold like we did last term, making sure we're hitting those dot points, get some peer feedback. That's it. That's the work for the week. Does anyone have any questions? Perfect. So if no one's got any questions, enjoy working on health, and hopefully this is our last Zoom, and I will see you all next week.
So wait, are we doing peer feedback this week?
Yeah, if you get your introduction done and somebody else gets their introduction done, yes, you are more than welcome to do peer feedback straight away.
So will it just be on the OneNote?
Yeah, you should be able to see each other through OneNote.
Okay.
Sorry, miss.
Yep.
So what's due this week?
So you're going to do the re-aim stuff that I just showed you, so that'll be due. And then your introduction and your discussion, I'm asking you to write them. They're not technically due because obviously it's part of your assessment, but it's obviously something that if you get written this week while you're away, we can start like editing and recrafting when you get back straight away. So obviously it's not something for it's part of your assessment, so I can't make it due, but it's highly suggested that you get it done.
Okay, thank you.
All good.